In this video, we are going to learn how to create tables in MySQL, okay, directly using PHP MyAdmin or using our PHP program. So in the last video, we just saw how to create databases. So this is that code. So for now, I will just delete this code and we will just say PHP and PHP, and here I will just write. Now we are working with tables. Okay, because once you create a database, your next step is to create tables. Okay, for now in this video we will be just creating one table. So let's first go to PHP MyAdmin. Okay, so I am in my PHP MyAdmin, and I am in the database, my database that we created in the last video. Okay, so inside this database I will just create one table. And as I said, you can directly create tables from here as well. There is an option for creating a table. You can give a name and you can give the number of columns that you want to give. But as I said, I like to fire queries. So I am inside the SQL tab, and here we will fire queries. Now, in order to create a table, first you have to make use of the create keyword, then table. In this case we are creating a table, so that's why table followed by the name. In this case I am keeping the name as users. Okay, you can give any random name, and inside these round brackets you have to give the column names, the name of the columns. Okay, how many columns should be there and what type should be, and it should be of what type, means either varchar or integer or a floating point number. Okay, so I will just say first let's keep the column as username, and it is a type varchar because it is a string, right? So varchar, and I will just give it a size. Maximum length should be 50. It should not cross be 50. Okay, then my second column would be, okay, you can separate the columns using comma. Second, let's keep it as email. Okay, email, even this is varchar, and even let's keep it the size as 50. And third one, I will make an integer column. So I will just say age, and I'll just say int. Okay, so the default size is 11 digits. Okay, that int takes. Of course, there are many variations like small int, big int, but for now to make it very simple, I'm using int. So basically, I'm creating a table called users, which has three columns. First is the username, which is varchar, then email, which is also of type varchar, and age, which is of type integer. So what I will do is I'll simply click on go. It's okay, so the table has been created, and even here you can see we have a table called users. So I'll just click on this table, but we'll get to see nothing because we haven't saved any data inside this table. Okay, so what I will do is I will again go to under this, and now let's give out some data. Okay, we can, what we can do is we can insert some data. Now, in order to insert data into a table, what we can do is we can make use of the statement insert. Okay, and see, from MySQL is very easy. From the name itself, you can figure out what to use and what not. So insert into table, which table? In our case, it is users. So insert into this table means the table name. Here we will just pass the column names. Okay, first is our username, second is email, and third is age. Then the next keyword that we use is values. Okay, so first we have two keywords, insert and into. Then we have the table name, and I'm just specifying what all columns are there. Means even I can insert value to some specific columns or all the columns. It's up to me. Even I can, in this case, I can store data only in column username and email if I want, but I'm storing data in all the three columns. Then we have the keyword values, and here I will just specify the values. So username, since it is a varchar, I will put that inside quotes. Then email is also varchar, so I will just say Kevin at the rate email.com. And now my age, let's keep it as 20. Okay. Since 20 is an integer, no need to put this inside quotes. So this is how you can insert values into a table. Okay, you can just specify the column names, okay, in which you want to insert the data. In this case, I'm inserting in all the three columns, and that's why I have given the value. So this Kevin will be stored inside this column username. This Kevin at the rate gmail.com will be stored inside email, and 20 will be stored inside the column age. Okay, so I will just run this. We'll just click on go and let's see what happens. Okay, so one row inserted means our query has been successfully executed. I will just click on users table, and here you can see, as you can see, this is our table and this is the data. Kevin at the rate gmail.com, and we have our age is 20. Okay, so this is how you can create a table, and you can use insert statements to insert n number of data into the table. Okay, but this is directly using PHP MyAdmin. But let's say if I want to do the same operation using PHP program, then how to do? Okay, so let's do that. So very firstly, what I will do is I will drop this database. I'll say drop database my data, because I'm going to create the same database using my PHP program. Okay, database has been dropped. Now let's go here and let's start. Now what I will do is I will first establish a connection. Now in this case, I'm not storing data inside the variables. I will directly pass it. So I'll say mysqli underscore connect, and here I will simply pass localhost. Then here I will say root, then password is blank, simply like this. And even I will pass in this case one more parameter, my database, my data. Okay, so I will first create a database. Okay, I will again create that same database, because now our motto is not to create a database using PHP but to create tables. Database, I'll just create this, and then we will create a table using program. So I'm just establishing a connection with my database called my database. And here, as you might have noticed, I have not used any variables. I'm directly passing the value. Now I will simply say if $con, then just echo out connection has been successfully established. Else I can say echo connection has not been established. Okay, so first step is to establish a connection, and that is what I have done so far. Now we will execute our query, okay, to create a table. So I will just store that query inside a variable, and the query is create table. Table name, let's keep it as users, and here I will just pass the column names. First is username column, it should be var, and let's keep the length as 50, maximum length. Then we have email, when it is varchar, let's keep the maximum length 50, and then we have age and integer. Okay, I'll just put a semicolon. Okay, so this is the query to create a table. Okay, now my second step is to execute this query, and I know which function to use. I'll just say if mysqli underscore query, and it takes two parameters. First is our connection, second is my query, so that is $s. I'll just say echo table has been successfully created, and else I will say echo table hasn't been. Okay, so now the query has changed, and we are using the same function mysqli underscore query, which takes two parameters. First is the connection, second is our query. And if it executes successfully, I'm just printing table has been successfully created. All table has not been created. So I'll just save this and let's run this. I'll go to my browser. I'll go here and let's reload this. I'll reload this. Okay, so as you can see, I haven't broken the line, but that's fine. So connection has been successfully established, and here table has been successfully created. Okay, so we will just go to PHP myadmin and let's reload this. Okay, you should reload this, then only you can see the changes. Okay, so as you can see, a table called users has been created. I will just click on it, and you can see username, email. Okay, so this is how you can create a table using a PHP program. Everything, see, query is completely same, just you need to perform some functions like mysqli query, and that's all, and a connection for sure. That is the only case. Now even I can insert values into that table. Now I, in that case, my query will change, right? My query will be insert into, table name is users, and let's specify the column names, username, then email, and then age. Okay, even I can pass values for only two columns. Okay, because now currently these column names are default. Okay, that means if we don't specify any value to them, they will be, they will get null values. Okay, so that is the default. There are many constraints that we can set, right? We can set not null. Okay, so in that case it would give us an error that it is necessary to give out that value. But for now the constraint is default. That means even if we don't pass any value to a particular column, that's okay. Here I will simply say values, and then here we will pass the values. Okay, now one thing to note here, see, now I'm using the double quotes here, so I cannot use them inside here. Okay, sorry, here, otherwise it would give us an error. So in that case, what we will do, we will use single quotes. Okay, make sure, because here we are already using double quotes, so that's why we cannot use it here. So I'll just use single quotes here, and I'll say Kevin. Then I can say Kevin @gmail.com, and age, let's keep 20. Okay, rest everything is easy. I will just change your the statement, and I will say data successfully inserted. I'll just break the line as well so that it gets printed onto the new line. PR, PR. Okay. And even here I will change the statement. Data has not been inserted. Okay, that is all. Nothing else. Now I will just go to my browser and let's run this. I will just reload this. Okay, so connection has been successfully established and data successfully inserted. Let's go to my admin and I will just reload this to see the changes. So as you can see, data has been successfully inserted. Now, one more thing I forgot to tell you, that while creating tables, you can set constraints for your columns. Okay, now let's see how. I will just go to the structure of my table. Okay, you can go it from here, and here as you can see there are some constraints that you can set. Like, means default null, means if I don't specify any value at any point to this column name, any column name, it will consider null value at that time. Okay, it will take null values. But if you don't want null values to be a part of any column, you can set it as not null. So we'll get an error that this column should never be, can never have a null value. Okay, so there are some constraints as well that you can give while creating a table. Okay, just I will show you. While creating a table, you can just say create table. Let's keep users only. And here what you can do is you can say, let's say username is varchar in is 50, and if you don't want to keep it default, you can say not null. You can just give out any constraint like this. Okay, but if you don't specify anything, that means default is null. Okay, so that is how you can do. And this is all for today's video, and in the next video we will learn how to alter, means how to change a table name once it is created, how to add one more column once a table is created, and all that. So thank you.